The next chapter in the saga of The Hobbit, the movie, is underway in New Zealand. Executives from Warner Brothers have held negotiations with the country's Prime Minister about where the film should be made. The studio is threatening to move the location from New Zealand to another country because of disputes with film union workers. Locals and the government want to persuade the studio to stay put. Here's New Zealand correspondent Dominic Schwartz.
Well, Roz, we're still waiting for a resolution. The Prime Minister, other senior ministers and officials met with the Warner Brothers executives for 2 hours yesterday at the Prime Minister's residence. And John Key said that Warner Brothers' key concern was industrial unrest, even though the unions have guaranteed that they're not going to disrupt filming. So it now seems increasingly likely that the government will actually change labour laws to ensure that people working in the film industry are declared to be sole contractors as opposed to employees, and that is very firmly stated in the law, which means that they're likely to have less chance of going through the courts to fight against unfair dismissal, and it also means that their benefits are less. But the Prime Minister says there's still the question of financial incentives for Warner Brothers. Now, New Zealand offers rebates of about 15%, but up to 28% are offered in Europe. John Key has said he's not going to enter a bidding war, so today he was saying there's still no guarantee that the Hobbit films will be filmed in New Zealand.
Still very 50-50.
When you spoken to
not overly confident, I have to say. There's a big gap between economically what's on the table, and unfortunately we just can't put together those pieces easily that have been broken, but we'll do our best.
So, Dominic, as we know, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, those 3 movies, all filmed in New Zealand. So is consistency part of the argument to keep The Hobbit in the country?
It's certainly part of the argument that most people here are putting forward. You try and talk to any New Zealander that Middle-earth could be anywhere other than New Zealand and you'll get a very big argument, even if the author might have thought differently. A lot of the sets are here, the history of the films are here, and of course you've got a tourist industry which is now built up over the Lord of the Rings films, and they would like that to continue with The Hobbit. So as far as New Zealand is concerned, this is the place where it has to be shot. So
what happens now? When is a decision going to be made?
The Prime Minister has said that he expects a decision by the end of the week. However, it could come earlier than that. He certainly would like to be able to announce something later today because he leaves very early tomorrow for the East Asia Summit. But I suppose it's in the hands of not only the Prime Minister but the Warner Brothers executives.
Dominic, thank you.
Thank you.